Blinkfleet. What is it? In a previous video, I was asked this in the comment section below, and today is the day that I go through what I have learned so far from my limited experiences in game to give you guys a head start when you head out for some sneaky pew pew in Eve Echoes. But before I start, feel free to sneak up to that lovely subscribe button and do your thing. So then, what is Blinkfleet? Or blink bombing, or even just the term blink in Eve Echoes? Well, first up, as I alluded to in the introduction, you first need a covert ops cloak. Yes, you can technically use the blink tactics with a regular cloak, but for the purposes of this video, I will be assuming that you'll be using a covert ops cloaking device due to the regular cloak's obvious limitations. Now, the concept of blinking is to break an incoming target lock by hitting the cloak button before the lock is successful, then immediately uncloaking again to continue the assault and forcing the enemy player to start the process of locking you all over again. Remember that the lock is only successful when the locking symbol turns red, and you can hit the cloak button at any point whilst it is still yellow to break the locking attempt. That's the basics of blinking right there, but don't click away just yet, more is yet to come. So what happens if the enemy successfully locks onto your ship? Well, this is where you simply just warp away, assuming of course that you haven't been warp scrambled. If you are assaulting a structure, and let's say for our example it is going to be a capsuleer outpost or a scout outpost in Cobalt Edge, the preferred tactic in this scenario is to have at least 2 bookmarks over 150 kilometers apart. These are best set up before the fight itself starts. When the enemy outpost successfully locks onto you, you simply warp to the other bookmark, allowing you to immediately continue firing whilst breaking their target lock on you. If possible, you want to set up more than 2 bookmarks in these events, as you want to be as unpredictable in where you land in the event that the outpost has a defending fleet on grid, as a single interceptor or interdictor correctly guessing where you're about to warp to will bring a swift end to your assault. And in this scenario, you need to also pay close attention to incoming target locks from other enemy ships, in addition to the enemy outpost. So now that we know what it means to blink and the 2 methods available to successfully break the target lock, let's have a look at the next module on the list that fits perfectly on a blink ship fleet alongside the covert ops cloaking device. That is the sensor dampener. This largely overlooked module can be used by a blink fleet. I nearly said blank fleet then, wow. This largely overlooked module, when used by a blink fleet, can add entire minutes onto an outpost's capital ship or even battleship's locking times when attempting to lock onto small ships such as stealth bombers by simply reducing the target ship's own scan resolution. As such, you'll find at least one of these modules on every Blinkfleet bomber. Well, I say every Blinkfleet bomber. You'll notice in the video in the background that I simply didn't have one fitted because I didn't really know what I was doing when I was recording this video. But hey ho, that's in the past now. I do know what I'm doing now. Allegedly. But anyway, let's carry on with the script. So, what ships can take part in a Blinkfleet? Well, that's pretty much anything that is running a covert ops cloaking device, as they have reduced locking delays when running cloaks and have the ability to move around more freely to set up bookmarks. At this stage in the game, that does mostly mean stealth bombers, as your blockade runners and exploration ships are unlikely to have all that much to contribute in these engagements. As for drone ships such as the Astero or the Arbitrator covert ops, this is where things get a tad more complicated. Unfortunately for these ships, cloaking isn't an option, when the drones are out. Or at least it shouldn't be. I have seen people mention that they have managed it in the past due to certain bugs, but in any case, it's intended that you're not able to cloak whilst the drones are out. And anyways, cloaking isn't an option without first recalling these drones, and there remains another option available to them. In this week's implant video, I covered the automatic defense implant. This implant allows the drones themselves to break all of the target player's target locks. Now, does this work against structures? I honestly have no idea. If you happen to know, let us know in the comments section below. Now, this is the point whereby I realise that I have started most of the paragraphs in this script with the word "so." Oh well, it is done now, I guess. But if you want some examples of blink bombing in action, then check out my sneaky pew pew video that I'll have linked on screen at the end of this video, or check out Heron Explorer's Blinkfleet videos. I've not seen any videos from him recently with regards to Blinkfleet, but they're still up there, you can still watch them. And in the meantime, if there's anything I've missed in this tutorial, feel free to let me know in the comments section below. I always do appreciate any feedback. And if you found this useful, stop by the subscribe button and stay tuned for future videos. And until the next video, fly casual.